Hello, 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 and welcome back to Bright Connections. I'm BK. You're the listener. Thanks for being here with me. Hope you're enjoying the springtime. Hope you're enjoying the more freedoms from the pandemic. And I hope you're just living each day to the fullest. So thanks again for joining. Hopefully you're not getting hit with the allergies too much. If you have allergies, because I know I'm getting hammered by allergies. This last week was brutal, 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 man. The headache, the congestion, the sneezing is all picked up. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. But it is what it is. It's hard to not want to be outside after being coped up for so long. But hopefully you're finding a way to manage. If you do have allergies, hope you're finding a way to manage and keeping on, living outside, enjoying the outside, the sunshine. Um, so got a quick couple of minutes here before I am off to a game here soon, another lacrosse game. So wanted to make sure I jumped on and got an episode recorded. We've got lots of things to talk about in a short amount of time. So little update on lacrosse. The boys still not doing fantastic record wise, but I'll tell you what, they seriously have improved so much. Um, each and every game that we play, it seems like they're connecting things. They're starting to understand things. They look like they know what they're doing out there. So um, that's as much as I can ask. You know, if they're listening, they're paying attention, they're doing what we tell them to do. So it's still a ton of fun. It's a great group of kids. I've really enjoyed coaching them. But we got a couple more weeks here to go. So a couple more weeks of less bright connections as far as episodes as we finish out lacrosse season. And then once that's over, you know, we should be back full force with bright connections. It's just a lot. You know, it's a lot. Not a lot of time to do everything. But I'm trying to, you know, to do as much as I can because I know there's a handful of you guys who wake up every Monday and ready for bright connections, and I want to make sure you got something to look forward to. So thank you to you for being there and always being supportive. I appreciate it. But lacrosse season, we actually have playoffs this year. Go figure. I guess they're doing so. We did like divisions, and I guess they're going to do some type of tournament at the end of the year. So these are teams better watch out. We've been waiting. We've been saving our wins for the tournament at the end of the year, for the playoffs. That's what we're doing. We're saving them. We're saving them. No, but should be a lot of fun either way. Again, it's been a ton of fun. It's been a great season, no matter what our record may say. They've played really well, especially recently. They deserve to have more wins, but kudos to the other teams though. The other teams have been good too. They've been gelling well. They look like they've been together for years. I tell you that. As opposed to our team, who a handful of new people, new kids maybe not have played for a year and a half because of pandemic and stuff. So, but it's been coming together, and either way, like I said, it's been a lot of fun. So today, actually, is my aunt and uncle's 50th anniversary. So I wanted to give them a quick shout out on here. I know they listen every once in a while. But just thinking about it, 50 years together, 50 years being married, amazing, absolutely amazing. I mean, they are my second parents. I mean, I have my parents and they're my second parents. We always went on vacation with them. We do stuff with them. I mean, my mom and her sister, my aunt, they're like twins. I mean, they're not actually, but they are. They're the same person, think alike, do things alike, look alike. It's pretty funny, but so aunt and uncle 50th anniversary. We'll be celebrating, you know, with the dinner tomorrow with them. So it should be a lot of fun. And I just wanted to say, you know, that they're a role model. You know, they're a role model. They're the love for each other and the example that they set for their kids and their nieces and nephews and their grandchildren and everything. It's a lot. You know, it's a significant bond that they share, and So I just want to wish them all the best, and hopefully many more happy years, healthy years. Thank you, for being there for me, in a way, different than, my parents are. Aunt and uncles are always, they can be like your parents, but they're at the same time, they're like a little more fun, a little more non-restricting, or whatever you want to say. But it's been a lot of fun making memories with you guys. And hopefully you enjoy, like I said, many more happy and healthy years together. So, and then last but not least, best time of the year. We've got the NHL Playoffs starting this past weekend, day or two before this comes out. Oh man, exciting. Love it. So as opposed to last year where we had the whole bubble setting, it seems like they're gonna go with, in their own state, in their own arenas, in their own rinks. Each team, they're gonna play in their own home stadium, and they're gonna allow, certain capacity of fans in the stands. And boy, is it gonna be exciting. I'm sure it's gonna be exciting for them, but for us as viewers, I think it's just gonna be amazing as well. Being able to cheer, whether you're in the stadium or not, in the arena or not, it's gonna be an awesome sight. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So we're going to go through some of the teams that are in right now and who we've got and who we're thinking, because I'm always so good at making predictions like this. So we're going to do it without fail this time. You're going to hear it here first. So first, before we get started on the bracket, just some quick shout outs to teams that did well during the regular season. The Colorado Avalanche, they won the President's Trophy, which is presented to the team who finishes with the most points during the regular season. So they essentially were the best team in the regular season. So Colorado Avalanche, congratulations to you. Individual, got Connor McDavid, man, from Edmonton Oilers. Guy put up over 100 points in a shortened season. 50, 60s games. I forget how many games they played this year, but short season, at least close to 20 games shorter than normal, puts up 100 points. And it's crazy. I mean, the dude's so gifted athletically, especially offensively. Fast, man. He's fast. He's so fast. He makes fast people look not fast. But he's super talented, super gifted, and he's what an amazing season he had, and on a team that's has not been the best over a handful of years, but he continues every year to just rack up points. Crazy. So congratulations to Colorado, congratulations to McDavid, and congratulations to every team that's made it in to the playoffs. So here we go. The matchups for the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs are as such. And as we go through the playoff scenarios this year, what they're doing is there were 4 divisions, like one Canadian division and then like one East, Central, and West US. And basically what we're going to do in the playoffs is we are going to play the matchups within the divisions until there's one division team left, one division winner. And then they'll play in the semifinal against the other division, and so on and so forth till there's a winner. So in the East, we've got ye old Pittsburgh Penguins, baby. Pittsburgh Penguins, as you probably should know by now, we're Pittsburgh Penguins fans here. Yeah. Pittsburgh Penguins as the number 1 seed in the East Division versus the number 4 seed New York Islanders. So what makes it interesting is a couple of years ago, I believe it was 3 years ago, the Islanders ousted us in the first round. And 2 years ago, 2 years ago, the Washington Capitals ousted us. And the similarity between those 2 years is that Barry Trotz was the head coach of both of those opposing teams. Guess who's the coach of the New York Islanders this year? Barry Trotz. So it should make for an interesting story. Is it Barry Trotz that has our number, or are the Penguins finally going to beat Trotz and move on to the next round? I certainly think they will. I think this Penguins team is clicking on all cylinders right now. I think the defense finally looks a lot better than past years. I think the energy is up, the work ethic is up, the will to win is up. It's just a matter of, does it carry on to the playoffs? Because these other teams are going to raise their bar too. Are the Penguins going to do the same? Are they not going to play down to their competition, thinking that they're the number 1 seed versus a number 4 seed, and we've got this in the bag, which Pittsburgh teams love to do. They love to play down to their competition, and it's so frustrating being a Pittsburgh fan. But I truly think that this year will be good for the Penguins. I think we're going to go far. So I do think we get out of this first round matchup versus the Islanders. I think we actually win in 5. I think we lose 1 game. That's it. I think we win 4 out of 5. So I think the Penguins move on in 5. That's my prediction. Penguins moving on to the second round. Second matchup in the East Division, the Washington Capitals versus the Boston Bruins. I think so. Boston has a very experienced lineup with I guess handful of young kids mixed in as well. But their top line, they always talk about is the bread and butter of their team. Getting old. I don't think they have as much as they think they do, and I don't know that their supporting depth is enough anymore. I think the Capitals, as much as it pains me to say it, I think the Capitals move on in this one over the Bruins fairly easily. I think it's 5 games as well, maybe even a sweep by Washington. I don't think Boston has what it takes anymore, even though they're putting up points. They got, they picked up Taylor Hall in the trade deadline, and they do have some talent for sure. Definitely have talent with David Pastrnak and a couple other handful of people. I just don't think that top line that they're so woohoo about is going to be enough to carry them. I don't know. I'm not buying in. I'm not buying in Boston. The only issue with Washington is their goaltending. They're kind of questionable, shaky with their goaltending. So maybe that is what defines it. Maybe the goaltending, Boston has the huge advantage. Maybe they do pull it out. But I do say Washington. My prediction is Washington in 5. So I say Washington moves on from the Bruins to the second round in the East Division. On to the next division. We've got the Central Division. No, we've got the Central. Yes, Central. Central Division, we've got the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, Brian, Carolina Panthers. Carolina Hurricanes versus the Nashville Predators. Number 1 seed Carolina Hurricanes versus number 4 seed Nashville Predators. I think Carolina's too much here. I know last year in the pandemic bubble scenario, I was big on Carolina, and they got ousted pretty early as well. Hopefully it doesn't happen this year. I don't think it will. Carolina was good all year long. They're still backed by some top-notch talent in Sebastian Aho and some other handful of guys. I think they shored up their goaltending a little bit more this year. I think they've got enough at least to make it out of the first round. Nashville, I haven't really heard much on Nashville this year. I'm actually kind of surprised to see them in the playoffs. I wasn't aware that they were doing fairly well. So good on them, I guess, for doing that. But I just don't think that they've got enough to beat Carolina. I think Carolina's got this pretty handedly, but I am going to say it goes fairly longer. I'm going to say it's going to go 6 games. I'm going to say Carolina in 6. I just think they have more gelling, more together than Nashville does right now. Nashville I actually thought was in a transition period to the rebuilding stage, but apparently not. Apparently they're still still in the hunt. So, but I think, like I said, I think Carolina moves on. So Carolina moving on to the second round. My prediction. Heard it here first. Then the final matchup, or the second matchup in the Central, is the Florida Panthers versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. So the defending champs, Tampa Bay Lightning, who is actually a number 3 seed, and the Florida Panthers, number 2 seed. This is going to be a really good series, I think. I think Tampa Bay struggling a little bit with some injuries, didn't have the best of seasons. Florida came out of nowhere to have a great season. Got some key acquisitions in Patrick Hornquist, a proven winner, a grinder, hard worker. Got a good goaltender. Got good talent. I guess they have a fair share of injuries too. I know they lost Ekblad for a while, but I think this is going to be one of those first round matchups that's going to go a long distance. I think it's going to go 7 games. I think Tampa Bay still squeezes it out. I think Tampa Bay in 7 beats Florida with the least seed upset on paper. But being the defending champion, it's hard to say that they're an underdog. But I think Tampa Bay has got a little bit more experience, a little bit more talent than Florida does. Florida, hasn't been around the playoff scenario for a while. But good on them, again, kind of like Nashville. Good on them for making it. I just don't quite think they'll have enough. They had a great regular season, but it's a whole different ballgame when you get to the playoffs. It's a whole different ballgame. So I think Tampa Bay moves on in 7 in that matchup, which rounds out that division. Carolina and Tampa Bay moving on. Which then brings us to the West. Which brings the first matchup, the Colorado Avalanche, the President's Trophy winner, versus the St. Louis Blues. This one is going to be tough. This one's going to be tough for St. Louis. Carolina's obviously they're killing it right now. That's going to be hard sell to see St. Louis moving on in this matchup. I do think they win one. But Carolina fairly handedly wins this series behind their superstar, Nathan McKinnon, and lots of other talented guys. Young superstar on defense, Cale Makar. Colorado moves on in 5. Might even be a sweep. One of those situations where St. Louis may win one, but it's all Colorado in this series. Colorado moving on, my prediction, to the second round. And the other matchup in this division is the Vegas Golden Knights versus the Minnesota Wild. Minnesota Wild, huge surprise this year, kind of along with Florida, but probably bigger than Florida. Huge surprise for Minnesota being in the playoffs this year. A lot of people thought they were going to be in a rebuild. They got this young superstar of their own, young rookie, putting up a ton of points, flashy, skilled, Kaprizov, but definitely not going to be enough to take down Vegas. Vegas was the season leader in goal differential, meaning they scored more points and gave up less points than everybody else in the league. Highest goal differential in the league in the regular season, backed by good old Marc-Andre Fleury and Robin Leonard, but mostly Marc-Andre Fleury. Backed by Marc-Andre Fleury, Vegas is going to be around till the end, I think, yet again. Although second round matchup is going to be tough with Colorado, but pretty easily Vegas moves on here. I'm thinking honestly a sweep. in this series, Vegas versus Minnesota. Good for Minnesota making it this far. Vegas has just been there since they came in the league. They're a great team, well coached, backed by superstar goaltender, third winningest goaltender in league history. Good luck. Good luck, Minnesota. But Vegas, my prediction, moving on to the second round in this matchup, which then takes us to the final division, the North Division, aka the Canadian Division. First matchup, number 1 seed Toronto Maple Leafs versus Montreal Canadiens. I think this is going to be a better series than a lot of people think. Montreal was the surprise of the year last year, taking out the Penguins. Can they do it again this year as a big underdog versus Toronto? I think it's going to be a great series. I think it's been a close series. I don't think Toronto always thinks, all their fans and everyone always thinks they're the greatest thing since sliced bread, and they just never seem to have it. They never seem to pull it through. They do have some leadership, some older guys that a lot of people are cheering for. Joe Thornton as being one of them, guy who's had an amazing career and just one of those guys you want to see win. One of those guys you want to see win. So he's on Toronto. I do think Toronto does pull it out, but honestly, I could see it going to 7. I could see this series going to 7. But I do think Toronto pulls it out. So I'll say Toronto in 7 for this series versus Montreal. I'll say Toronto in 7. And then the very last matchup, we've got the aforementioned Edmonton Oilers and Connor McDavid and his partner Leon Draisaitl versus the Winnipeg Jets. I think Edmonton Edmonton finally gets some success in the playoffs for a long time. It's been a long time. I think Edmonton takes this series on the easier side, but I will say it'll go to probably like 6 games. I'll say Edmonton in 6. I think Winnipeg will give them a fight, but Edmonton just going to outscore you, man. They're just going to outscore you with McDavid and Draisaitl and the rest of the gang. Edmonton's going to be tough. Then again, they could choke like any other team in playoff time. You just never know. Like I said, it's a whole different ballgame. But I do think Edmonton moves on finally. I think they've got what it takes to at least win the first round matchup versus the Winnipeg Jets. So Edmonton moving on. My prediction in 6, which rounds out our predictions here. We've got Penguins over the Islanders, the Capitals over the Bruins, the Hurricanes over the Predators, the Lightning over the Panthers, the Maple Leafs over the Canadiens, the Oilers over the Jets, the Avalanche over the Blues, and the Golden Knights over the Wild. There you have it. You heard it here first. All those predictions are going to be spot on. I guarantee it. No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. Let me know what you guys think of the predictions. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Time frame on how many games it'll take. Who you rooting for in each matchup. Who you actually think is going to win. Let me hear it. Let me hear it. Comment. Let me hear it. Let me hear how excited you are for the playoffs as well. I know like I said, I'm super excited. I love NHL and I love the playoff time. Couldn't be more excited. And to see that there's going to be some people in the stands again. Exciting times, guys. Exciting times. Bright times ahead. So let's enjoy the Stanley Cup playoffs that start this past weekend. And we'll see who comes out of the first rounds. Here we go. It begins now. Best of luck to every team. And let's everybody here sit back and enjoy watching hockey, playoff hockey. All right, guys, that will bring us to our bright story of the week. Good one. So we've got from work, I don't think it was this past week, but the week before, we have a woman who hasn't been in the office for a while. She's pregnant. So she had her child about a month ago, maybe a little over a month ago, actually. And she was getting ready to come back fairly soon after the pregnancy and everything. And we started hearing, her coworkers in her department started hearing news, especially their supervisor, She was talking to her or whatever, and she said she was going to get, she wasn't feeling well or whatever. And she went to get checked out, and turned out that she actually came down with some back cancer. So she came down with back cancer. She said she hasn't felt well for like almost a year, and she finally decided to go get this whole thing checked out. And so not only has she not been in work for pregnancy, now she's going to be out for that, obviously, for some time now. And so the brightness was that a handful of us of the coworkers at the work, we all decided to get together and pitch some money together, get her a card and send her some money just to help support her, just to tell her that we're thinking about her, hope she gets through this, and best wishes and everything. So one of the ladies, and go figure, was actually the same lady who helped in a prior episode. I talked about the lady that helped somebody that was sick in the office and jumped up to help immediately, even during the pandemic. So this is the same lady who organized this little not charade, but this little thing that we did for this woman. So just getting together, pitching a little bit of money, try to help her out. Easy thing to do, but hopefully it helps out tremendously. Help her get through this crazy situation, and we all we wish her all the best. Hopefully we'll see her soon, and hopefully everything will be good when we see her again. So crazy thing, you go from one thing to another in life, and things just topple, good and bad. Things can get crazy. But just know there's people willing to support you. There's people willing to be there for you always, to lend a hand, to be a crutch, whatever the case may be. There's so many bright people, amazing people out there willing to lift each other up and help each other out. And this was a perfect example. Amazing gesture. And it's just simple things like that make the world a better place, make the difference. So thank you to all my coworkers who did that, partook in that. Great stuff, amazing, bright stuff. And hopefully we succeeded in making that woman's day, week, better place, a little bit better. So brighten her spirits a little bit. So, all right, guys, that'll wrap it up for today's episode. Thank you so much for joining. Thanks for listening. And again, let me hear your thoughts on the NHL playoffs first round, and anything else you want to talk about. Let me hear it. Always down to talk to anyone about anything. If you watch the YouTube video, be sure to like, comment, and share. I'd appreciate it, as always. And then wherever else you listen to, we're available, on all podcast platforms. Be sure to subscribe, like anything, rate. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, be sure to rate, like the podcast, anything you can. Greatly appreciated. And keep being bright, guys. Just please keep on being bright. Bright times are ahead, quote, literally and figuratively, with some warmer weather, some sunshine, and continue to just be there for each other, support each other, be bright to and for each other, and keep being your best you, guys. Thanks again for joining. We'll see you next time. Take care. Have a great week.